Oh, okay. All right, I see how they want to do it. StreamYard. All right, it's all good. My little bootleg membership ran out. And man, they won't let me use no assets. They won't let me do nothing. Yo, all I can say is, Mr. and Mrs. StreamYard, man, you got to come better with these pricing. Considering the fact that I had a membership for like 5 years, and for like 3 years I didn't even use it. I was just paying. But now they want to get all fancy. I can't even come on, and I can't play an intro video. Dang, they want money for that. I can't do the auto intro. Yo, let me tell you, Lisa Stocks, welcome, 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 Lisa. That's my financial guru homegirl right there. I needed you at work today because them people was driving me crazy. Asking me about, I don't know. Anyway, I didn't come on here to talk about that. But, you get these people, they want to know about internal costs of the different funds, these institutional shares, and want you to break all. I'm just sitting there saying, lady, for real though. For real though. But we call those super analyzers. You get people like that. They and then the ones I like are the ones who don't know about anything financial, but they try to like throw around all these buzzwords, and I be laughing because what they're saying be complete gibberish. But hey, it's all good though. My job is to educate them. That's what I do now. I just do education. I don't do all the fun stuff anymore with the building of portfolio. So if they ask me a question, I'm glad to explain it and go through it all. So anyway, y'all, check this out. I apologize. I guess, like I said, StreamYard, they used to be on the basic version. You would at least get, a couple of features, but they got me coming on here butt naked. Just, I'm still getting out the shower and my show done started because I clicked the button. So I'm assuming I don't have an outro or anything else that I could use. Will they let me at least use the banners, y'all? I don't know. But I don't know. I don't see me really doing a whole membership, man. Because hey, look, I produce a lot of stuff on this channel and I have subscriptions to other things. And as you can see, I'm not one of the people on here making money. So the end has to justify the means, with that. So now if I start somehow making money, I don't know, talking about nonsense or what have you, then maybe. But anyway, check this out. The title of the show, Brothers, We Need to Step It Up. Okay, so why did I say that, right? Now, as you know, there was a news story. News story is a couple years old. But, we just had a verdict come in on a trial. Now, I didn't want to come running and jumping on here without all the facts in the background and this and that, or coming on here emotional, which is what I've been dealing with on the internet from a lot of folks, just watching their commentary. Hey, welcome, Umfufu. So anyway, this verdict came in, and this man, this murderer of children, was found not guilty. So of course, there was instant outrage, a lot of talking, some speeches, and things like that. I wanted to say, when will enough be enough? When will enough be enough? What are we gonna do about it? Now, the level of anger that I felt when I heard that sent me through the roof. I was like, that is impossible. There's no way that little Cyrus gave his life, right, in the fashion that he did, and this is just gonna blow over. Even his lawyer said, I promised his mom, I said, hey, look, just hold on. We're gonna get this zipped up. There's no way that this man could even possibly walk. Now, so there were questions. Folks asked, how is it that, this happened? Well, they charged this guy with first-degree murder. Now, in the pretrial, they had a discussion, the prosecution, which I feel like, damn, I don't get it. You agreed to not charge this guy with any lesser charges. That's the part that like murdered me. So basically, you just gave away your case. You said, I'm going to charge him on murder one, which means they have to have a murder one conviction. A conviction. It has to be premeditated. Which, by the way, it looked pre-goddamn meditated to me. But it has to be premeditated, and they got to have all the ducks in a row for this first degree unaliving. Why do we have to keep changing words on YouTube? I don't understand that. Whatever. So they tried him on that. And by the facts of the case, they found him not guilty on that count. Now, I don't know if we were all watching the same things, but I'm not understanding why would they agree to something like that? Like, you agree to one charge? Why? I want to know why. I want to know what you're the prosecution. How can the defense ask you, oh, well, it's just going to be this and this, and we're going to stay right here in this. Now, there's a lot of folks on the internet that are idiots and clowns. Number one, I was looking at a video where the defense attorney, who happens to be one of you Negroids, a black ass defense attorney, was doing his little speech and his shuffling and stepping and fetch it routine. And in the comments section, there was a whole lot of them folks talking about, oh, this man is a hero. This man, he should be commended. He needs a raise. He should teach law school. Let me tell y'all something, brothers. Brothers, there are a lot of people in this world who celebrate the death of your children. Now, these folks were all in the comment section just cheering on the black ass sellout lawyer that fought for the defense. Oh, well, he's a professional. He got to make money. That's his job. Is a defense. Nah. You ain't got to take every case. You don't have to. But look, check it out. So let's go back to the facts of the case. So the young man enters the store, right? Like he's done several other times in the past. Other young people have come and gone. He was told, hey, take your backpack off because we're not going to have you running up and down the aisles, filling it up with snacks and stealing. So he complied. He put the backpack down. He went to the back of the store down the aisle. He took out 4 bottles of water, said, never mind, put the water back. Now, I don't know what was on his mind. Me personally, I probably would have said, I don't like their attitude. They're following me around. They're peeking at me. Hurry up and buy and all this other stupidity. And they, I feel offended. I'm not going to shop in the place where I feel offended. As a matter of fact, there's a cafeteria in my building at work. The man at work there offended me. Guess what? I ain't been back in 2 years. That $100 a week I'm spending on lunch it's at Chipotle now. But anyway, the point is he left the store. Now, when he left, they said some things to him, offensive, of course. He left peaceably. He gathered his backpack and he calmly strolled out of the store and he walked away. And then these maniacs, sociopaths, psychopaths, any kind of path you want to put on them, decided the woman yells behind the counter something in Cantonese to her son. He runs from behind the counter. They're going to track this little Negro ninja down, and they're going to, for the purposes of exterminating him because he may have took some of our precious goods. So they chased after him 133 yards, more than over a 1 1/3 distance of a football field. This young man ran so hard he ran out of one of his shoes. He dropped a couple of cell phones, and then eventually he fell to the ground, tripped, scraped up his shin, and this is when they gunned him down. So my question to these, and by the way, 7 of the jurors were black. I'm not understanding. Now, if those of you that have been in jury duty, you have to understand. I've been in jury duty several times and had people that had multiple counts. Like there was a drug case I was on. It was drug possession, intent to distribute, gun possession. So we hashed all the facts of the case out. And I was like, I can't put that gun on him. Under the seat don't make it his, So we was like, oh, we're not going to give him the gun charge. So we was like, I said, intent to distribute it, and it wasn't a whole lot. Okay, we're not going to give him that. But we gave him the possession. See, we hashed it out. We worked it out. In what universe, if somebody can explain to me, in what universe does leaving a store without stealing warrant a death sentence? Now, we had a lot of dumbasses that forgive me, but it still angers me. We had a lot of dumbasses that were on the side of, well, he had a gun. Let me tell you something. What the F does that mean? Okay, for those of you that aren't from the United States and don't know the law, having a gun is also not a death sentence. I don't give a goddamn if he had an RPG or rocket launcher. That was still no reason to chase him down and shoot him in the back. How, in what world is this self-defense? Now, South Carolina is a stand your ground state, which means if the young man had it turned around, right, and said, I'll kill you. Let's say he launched at the woman and grabbed her by a collar, or he brandished a gun and then he ran off. Under the stand your ground law, you can chase somebody. You don't have to back down. You have no obligation to flee. You can literally chase a person down like that. That's what happened with Trayvon Martin, right? But here's my question. Where was the offense that this young man committed? I don't understand. He just left the store. So see, what also angered me and a lot of folks had questions on was, well, this clown, Mr. Chow, he had issues in the past where he put 6 bullets into some woman's car because she had beer and some snacks or something. Another person he brutalized because they had allegedly stole some oven cleaner. But here's the funny part. We can't bring that up in a trial because in South Carolina, it's a court rule. You can't bring up the person's past offenses. Now, the lawyer had to explain this to me and everybody else that didn't understand while it wasn't in trial. He said, the fastest way to get a mistrial on a murder conviction is talk about what somebody else did in the past during the trial. Now, in my state, you can do that. You can show, hey, the judge will, sometimes the defense attorney will object to you saying, well, he did this. He robbed a person in 2009. He stole a car in 2017. And, you have to have a reason for introducing this. Sometimes the other attorney will object, and then sometimes the judge will allow it, for you to prove your case. But in South Carolina, unfortunately, there's some rule that says you can't do that. You cannot bring up the past offenses. Now, we know this man is a maniac by the way that he acts. He is so scary that he has to shoot people. Now, first of all, for those that said, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, y'all, because it pisses me off. It's for those that said, well, them folks talking about he had a gun on him. Like somehow you're an instantaneous thug. Here's my question. He had a gun on him. The store owner had a gun on him. How many charges did the young man have prior gun charges where he discharged this weapon, unlawfully shot at people or did something with this gun? Oh, he showed it on Facebook. Okay. All right. Still doesn't warrant a death sentence. But you got some Negroes out here that'll say that, they want to paint all of our children as thugs. Here's the funny part. If this young man is such a thug, why did he run? Why didn't he just take the gun and start dumping right away? The minute they came at him, why didn't he just answer them with violent force? Because he's not a thug. Now, I don't know what's in that young man's mind. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, he just shouldn't have had a gun. See, that's the problem that I don't like with other folks trying to tell black folks what to do. We supposed to walk around here being pristine examples of high society. Meanwhile, them folks get to do anything they want to do. Like somebody said earlier, as a teenager, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, as young people, we've all did dumb stuff. We hooked school. We took our parents' cars, joyrided. We smoked weed. We experimented with drugs. Some of us had guns. Some of us sold drugs. Some of us, we did things. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that some young person is not. And besides, I don't know that young man. I don't know, was he being bullied? Is his neighborhood rough? Does he feel fear for his life where he needed to have a weapon? None of that matters in this case. But I'm going to say in today's climate, I might have been that same young man with a weapon. I never touched a gun when I was young because we didn't have to. We come from the last generation of hands. You know what I mean? We got it on. We threw them up. We ran them fades. That's just how it went down. But this young man was not given a chance. He was summarily hunted down and executed, right? Low life snatched. Now, all because of what? I'm sorry, y'all, I'm lost. Somebody gonna have to explain it to me. Why did this man leave his store? Well, I tell you, he left his store because he knows our lives are not valuable. We don't value our lives. I'm trying to understand something. I keep asking this question over and over. I don't understand how we got all these gangbangers, gangsters, all these. I'm gonna start with them. I ain't gonna end with them though. We got all these gangbangers, everybody flagging, everybody throwing them up. But when it come time for the community, when there's some get back or defense, oh, you can't do nothing else. All you can do is shoot and kill of the black people. Now I heard Big Jake, rest in peace. Y'all know about Big Jake. We're not gonna talk about that. That's it. He died in Atlanta. Look it up. Puffy, Suge. It was a whole big thing. Big Jake from Bounty Hunter Bloods in LA. I remember watching him on a movie called Dead Homies, and he said, "Damn, ain't it funny?" He said, "Here it is. You ride down the street in a car. You got 2 Glocks, 4 Tech 9s, a sawed-off shotgun, a Mac 11, unlimited ammo. 2 sheriffs get behind you, pull over, you freeze up. You do everything they say." He said, I didn't understand. I thought you was a gangster. I thought it was something happened, sell the farm, sell the ranch, grandpa, grandma, it's go time. Now, I'm not inciting here any harm against law enforcement. I'm not telling you that. But what I'm saying is, I challenge you, if you're in the street, you live in this lifestyle, why is it that? Why do you stop with your own people? You don't go no further. The violence can only happen to each other. To me, that is a great sickness amongst us. I look at how we treat each other. Like I've referenced earlier, I said, I don't patronize the cafeteria in my building. Why? When something happened one morning, I put the wrong spoon back in the wrong bowl or something. This Negro decided he wanted to reprimand me loudly. He came at me wrong, right? So I thought about it. I said, knock his ass out, but I'm there professional. You know, I'm not here to be scrapping over no eggs. You understand? Now, let me tell you, the manager was like, "Hey, man, what's going on, man? Hey, brother, look, man, he had a hard night. You know, this and that, this and that. I just lost my father-in-law. I had a hard day, too, but I don't get to cuss out clients. I don't get to be rude and ignorant to people." And the manager said, "Man, take your breakfast, man. Go ahead on. It's free. Yo, it's free." Because me and him was tight. The reason why I didn't go back is it wasn't so much the man, you know, it was the way he came at me and why. He came at me because I was another black person. And he knew he could do that. He felt like he could do that. Now, of course, I wrote complaints. I filed all of this. The company the vendor did nothing. Did nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I just took it to myself like, you will never see another dime of my money. And the reason why some people say, well, man, that's kind of petty. Why you can't? I can't let it go. And the reason why I can't let it go is because it was a brother speaking to me like I was less than for no other reason other than we had the same skin color. That's why. I can't forgive that, and I won't no more. So all of that, you running around here, y'all got all this gunplay and everything for each other, but you got nothing else for true enemies. So I can't respect. To me, that dude is a coon, like you talking to me like that. But these other folks walk around here spilling stuff everywhere. Now, the thing is, like I said, there was a peaceful resolve for that. He come to me and say, "Hey, man, you wasn't supposed to do that." Oh, yeah, I wish I ain't gonna say it going down. I want to distract from my message. But if he would have came to me like a man and said, "Hey, bro, you messed that up. That's not right." Guess what I would have said? I'd have said, "Hey, bro, go back there, open up a whole nother bag of tater tots, go ahead and dump. I'm gonna buy the whole tray. And then I'm gonna take it with me. Or I'm gonna scoop out this section right here. I'm gonna buy all of these, and then we just gonna go ahead on do what we gotta do." Anyway, I'm distracted. My point is that when it comes to each other, you know, we're destructive. We don't have any regards for each other. But I'm not understanding, how are these people coming into communities, smacking black women in the face in nail salons, punching black women in their eye? I'm not understanding. I'm not getting that. And so this just keeps happening over and over again. And I'm going to say this, The only way that's going to stop is when we take brothers, I ain't putting this on the women, when we make it so that when one of ours fall, that it's the last thing you would ever want to do on this earth because of the destruction that'll rain down. When that happens, when we can get our heads in the game, and when we care about love ours that much, and I'm not talking about the ones in your house, I'm talking about on a whole, because it's something I done said before, you know? So when that happens, when people start to see like, hey, yo, don't touch a hair on one of them children's hides, because the men in that community will rain down hellfire on your ass. There will be nothing left. There won't be a trial. The minute that you start sending that message, guess what? It'll stop. It'll stop. But right now, it's open season. Now, some dumbasses will say, because my MAGA friends, I love talking about them. By the way, all my MAGA friends are in disarray right now. They don't know what to do, because they chose the wrong team. But anyway, my MAGA friends always like to throw up, what about the murder rate in Chicago? Okay, what about all the mass shootings y'all peoples be doing? I'm not playing them game. That's a racist game. I'm not playing that game. The whataboutisms. The murder rate in Chicago got not a goddamn thing to do with law enforcement gunning down innocent black people. It does not. So they tell you just need to comply. The young man complied and he still fell dead. Let me tell you, gotta stop. Brothers, what we gonna do? It ain't about me and my sons. My sons are grown men. So what we gonna do, bros? These YNs out here, they off the hook. They going crazy. Let me tell you something. The YNs we like to talk about so much out here with all the guns and the carjackings and all this. Guess what? They came from somewhere. They came from some man's loins. Okay? The woman ain't have asexual reproduction and just spit out these little nigglets. They came from somewhere. So my question is, and when we see these stories with these young carjackers and murderers and all this stuff, why every time it's always the mother on the camera? I ain't never seen a story until this young man. I ain't never seen a story where it's a news story, carjacking the youth, and it's always the sisters. He was on home monitor, and I kept calling his probation officer, and then the police, they wouldn't do nothing. Now he done murdered somebody. Why you never see the men on camera? Where y'all at? Let me tell you where y'all at. You sitting your dumb ass up on the internet, running your mouth all day, not doing shit, with no job, nothing, no count having ass, nobody, talking trash and begging for money. Yeah, if the shoe fits, the shoe fits. We need to be more involved. It's not about raising my sons. Now I got to be here for my grandsons. Now I got to take it to the next generation. Somebody got to do something. Let me tell you something. I don't know what I say, but if I had gotten that call and my 14-year-old had fell, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. There's no way that would have rolled like that. Now I know it would have been destruction. Something got okay. For all the people that want to, they talk about his gun. They talk about, well, he's tired. People kept coming to his store and stealing. Then take your punk ass take your bitch ass to another neighborhood. Go cross the tracks over there with them folks. See, the thing is, you can't come in a neighborhood selling malt liquor and bullshit. They not going to have it. You ain't getting a permit. But you want to come into the middle of a war zone or where it's a drug infestation and then complain that you losing inventory. Why are you even here? That's my question. So it pisses me off that we spend, it gave me a wake-up call because I thought about it. I said, man, you spend a lot of time on the internet. You spend a lot of time, maybe not on the internet, but you do. You producing a lot of stuff on the internet. Man, look, the pandemic is over. I'm asking myself this question. Why ain't I mentoring anybody anymore? What happened to my involvement in the community? I'm saying it to myself. I'm the first one. Because I ain't going to come in here and tell you, oh, it's y'all and y'all. See, that's what them church preachers do. They tell you the enemy is somebody else. Nah, the enemy's me too. That could have been my son, my grandson, laid out. You know what I'm saying? This makes no sense. There ain't no not guilty. He guilty. Now they talking about a civil trial. Ain't no man. Yeah, I agree with that. He need to be broke. He need to be broke all the way back to wherever he came from. He need to be broke. All the money need to go. Now in LA, y'all remember back it was that 91, 92 when Latasha Harlan in the store, orange juice, had the money in her hand. What does that wench behind the counter do? Shoots her in the head over some goddamn orange juice. Now, of course, they lit several businesses on fire, and folks was like, I ain't understanding this. And we didn't do it. We didn't have nothing to do with it. Well, as far as I'm concerned, y'all wanted to keep y'all business. Y'all should have made an example out that whore. You all got stores. She messed it up for all of y'all. Y'all should have went and took care of that before we even got over there with the torches. You know? Then that little sister fell. And again, gang central. I don't know what the brothers did per se, but I ain't understand it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm thinking some stuff. I ain't supposed to be feeling this, but I ain't understanding how we having trials. That's what I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding how we having trials, but you can wave a gun in my face and shoot me 3 times, even though I gave you the keys. You Superman when it come to me, but you ain't Superman when it come to no real enemy. Y'all out here waving these guns. Y'all busting guns left and right. You ain't never been in no war zone. You ain't never had no real enemy shooting at you. Let me tell you something. Take your ass to Afghanistan or Iraq somewhere with a 14-year-old untrained with that AK-47 and he can shoot it to 1,000 meters out accurately. You over here doing a drive-by. You missing everything, hitting innocent. Just the other day, 2 15-year-old dumbasses shooting up a playground, killed the 11-year-old. Where their dads at? Where the mom and dads at? See, I'm going to tell you something. Generation X, I call you to the floor. You have failed miserably. We have failed miserably. We got ass whippings when we were young. We had boundaries. We had respect for the elders. We had all these things, and I keep saying it 100 times. You, Gen X, gave your children everything that you never got in your life. You gave them all the Jordans, all the iPhones, all of the Cuban link change, all the jewelry, all of the designer clothes, the handbags, all this crap and junk. But the one thing you didn't give them was the wisdom that your mama, the boomer, gave you that came from Big Mama. Didn't give them none of the wisdom. We just wanted our kids to look good, you know, and we let them go. And then the next generation after that, well, you see the destruction that brought. That's why they all running around here emotional. Some girl liked the one boy better than the other one. He got to go shoot his friend because he don't know how to deal with his emotions because his daddy ain't there to teach him. Mama can't teach him and miss me with that bullshit on Father's Day. If I hear one woman say I'm the mother and the father, I'll cuss their ass out. You is not the mother and the father. You never will be. You never can be. And it ain't no excuse. I ain't trying to hear that. You know? Like I said, we dropped the ball. Now, of course, you gonna say like me, well, oh, my kids is good. They came out. I did a good thing. Nah, no. First of all, my kids ain't all good all the time. I'm a realist. They made mistakes too. But I'm here to say the job ain't done. Now, Generation X, you are the elders. And you get a second shot at this. You now get to be the example for the generation that came after your kids. You know, them spoiled ass brats you raised. You know, the ones that you just shoved in the room with the video, the Door to Explore DVD on, or Friday Part 1 on constant repeat. You just let it roll and they just sat in there and they was out of your face. Because, see, you didn't have the patience your mama had with you. Nah. So, man, welcome everybody, man. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's just been one of them days. Welcome, make a change. You know, but it's funny though, because we come on here and we talking to Mike. I'm gonna make a personal plan for me. I got to get myself involved in something this year. Cause that really bothered me. It really did. And I'm not gonna make it a racial thing, because to all the ignorant ass people that was in those comments for the black ass defense attorney, they was, oh, he should be commended. He should get a raise. He should do. They were celebrating the destruction of your child. They were celebrating it like he was some thug that deserved to get exterminated. See, that's that ignorant ass stuff that they get taught. I told you, racism is a tool of capitalism. Racism, whether it's white against black, black against white, Asian against brown, brown against black, whatever it is a tool of divisiveness. It keeps you in darkness and ignorance. Ask me one question. How has hating white folks, I mean, you hate it down in your gut. How has hating white folks improved your condition one iota? How? Now, how would mentoring two children or just, hey, you know what? There's a little kid on the block. You could taking your kids to Six Flags, pile his little ass into the car with the rest of y'all. He ain't got no money because you know his mama smoking it up because she stayed laid up with Stefan. All right, cool. Put him in the car. That love he gets shown is going to go a long way in his little life. Because like I said, yeah, it might not have been your kids that was out there in the street, but guess what? The chickens come home to roost. And I said this on at least 4 lives. When you standing at the ATM, who got that gun in your back? That's right. That's right. Lil Don Quavius that did not get to go to Six Flags. He didn't get to go to Magic Mountain. And now he ain't been showed no love and he got a gun in your back. Now, I had a homegirl that I watched her raise like generations of kids. Like she was taking kids, people was strangers. She was at the supermarket. I come home with 2 extra kids. She was just raising them. You know, I'm ex, but raised mine the way I was for the most part. We did things together and we were outside. We watched TV as a family too. The new things are scary. Yeah, man, no doubt about it. Some of these children are scary. Like they're like, I'm watching society fail. You know, I'm watching kids out here having what's those little things they had? They're not called meetups, what they call takeovers. When they just go to the mall, they're gonna run wild and act crazy. Let me tell you something. If we don't reel these kids in, man, they got something for them, as you can already see. Now, am I saying that all foreign business owners, oh my God, get your shit together, whatever, whatever? No, but it's certain ones. See, that's the thing. There are pieces of shit in every race. And you have some of the shop owners that are very respectable and they might even give you a discount. I'm lying there. You ain't getting no discount. But there are a lot of them that are respectable people and they will respect you and they understand what it's all about. But then you get some of them that they get taught. They come put a business in an unfavorable area and then got a nerve to be mad about that. So this man he's going. Now, the funny thing is he don't own the gas station anymore. Ain't that funny? If you're so right and you were so justified, why aren't you still there? You know, some folks will say, well, obviously he can't stay. You know why? Because he know he was wrong. He know he was wrong. Like the prosecution said, what would have happened if you never left the store? Now, if they would have told me, and I still would, no matter, you know what? It's nothing that young man could have done short of pulling his gun out and shooting at them first. There's nothing that he could have done short of that would have warranted the treatment that he got. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's say, for instance, he stole 3 bags of Skittles. Okay, what happened to dialing 311 and calling the cops? Why is it that if I was out there, let's say, now they said that in South Carolina they have right to defend the other person, i.e. my son is in danger, so I have a right to take a tool and go after. So then by that logic, if that little boy's dad would have been on the scene, he would have been within his rights to shoot back at the store owners, because at that point it's pretty much self-defense and self-defense. And if the bodies would have fell, then they would have sorted it out and said, well, there was no crime here, but they would have looked at both of them. They'd have had both of the dads on the stand and said, now Mr. Chow, explain to me, why were you shooting at the young man? Well, he pointed a gun at me. Well, that's a bullshit lie. The only witness you got to that is your son. And what do you think he's going to say? Man, I would have loved it if the boy didn't have a gun on him. I would have loved to see. They would have came up with some excuse. Believe that. They'd have came up with something. But if the boy's father was there and he fired back, then he would have said simply, they were pursuing my son and shooting at him. He would have been within his right. I'm trying to figure out this. Why isn't he still in his right? Why does it? Now, see, y'all know back in the old days, we had something called honor. We had something called honor, and it's just like, hey, look, somebody got to answer for this. Law was a little bit different back then. But I will never. There's nothing. Trust me. I done ran through that case. I done listened to every angle. There's nothing they can tell me because for the simple fact, no items were taken from the store. There was no threat made in the store. Why were they leaving the store? Come on, second degree manslaughter, something. Because after the fact, if they found out after the fact there was no offense, there was nothing stolen, then definitely you got to get a manslaughter charge. I understand some folks are like, well, that's a lesser charge, it's weaker. We don't know if we could have got that conviction. I'm pretty sure the prosecution has his reasoning, but I'm like, dude, why are you gonna let the defense tell you what you're gonna agree to charge with? No, I would have charged his ass first degree manslaughter. I mean, first degree murder. Because oh, by the way, y'all, North Carolina, they don't have first and second, third degree murder. It's murder, period. And it's all treated like first degree. I can get with that. Murder's murder, right? He would have gotten second degree manslaughter, reckless endangerment, child endangerment. Man, there would have been so many aggravated assault. There would have been so many charges stacked. Trust me, he wouldn't have walked out of there on one. Now, some folks say, well, you have to prove premeditation. Guess what? I left your store peacefully. I followed all the instructions. I didn't steal anything. Then you had to come up in your mind and say, I'm going to get a gun. I'm going to chase this person down and I'm going to unalive them. Sounds pretty goddamn meditated to me. The gun didn't just fall in your hand while you were out on a morning jog and maybe some crow was flying above and he just happened to drop it in your hands. That didn't happen. Same thing with Mr. Bernard Getz. Y'all remember years ago, man on the subway? He decides he's going to put an end to these thugs. Man, it happens too many times. Now, I'm not going to let anybody, I don't let people take me into the argument into now they want to talk about the murder rate in Chicago. They want to talk about, but what about black on black crime? See, that's the dumbass racist talking points. Y'all ain't never supposed to, you don't let nobody take you. Man, I'd be goddamn if I let somebody distract me with that. Back during the first number 40, was it 45, that administration? I'm online, my MAGA friends, Josephine said, I ain't got no MAGA friends. Hey, look, I was in the Army with a lot of veterans. We were cool people. We had each other backs. We would live and die for each other. But unfortunately, 35, 40 years later, we have different political viewpoints. And I still consider a lot of them friends. They just happen to be MAGA. Now, I knew they were like full of shit. And I knew they were going to end up in looking real stupid out here. And that's how they looking right now. You should see them scrambling, talking about, well, it's the Democrats and the Republicans. They're all corrupt. They try to make it an all party now. That man, I almost said I love the president. You know why I do? You know why I love him? Because he just showed how goddamn dumb these people are. He's like, man, I'm corrupt as shit. And I'm making asses out of all of y'all. Y'all looking hella dumb out here. I told you people was eating cats and dogs. I made you hate all these brown people. And the minute I got my ass in office, what happened to all the people putting ketchup and mustard on cats? What happened to that? What happened to all of the folks coming to take jobs and guns? And what happened to all the transgenders that was going into your kid's school? What happened to all of that? Gone. Like I said, I keep telling y'all, you can't let people twist your head around. And they'll do that. They do it on YouTube, BlackTube all the time. They come on to twist your head. They going to get you riled up. I saw something earlier today. I'm not going to speak on it, but let's just say there was a presentation where somebody wanted to take something and get folks riled up about it. I ain't got shit to talk about. I have no content of my own. I have no original thoughts or ideas, but what I can do is get on the phone and call people and try to get them some outrage and then blow it up into something because obviously I can get a few pennies while I'm on here with the dumb shit. But guess what? I learned a lesson. One that didn't work because looks like the gods on high saw to end the bullshit before it even really got started. But that's my whole point. We let our emotions dictate who we are. So you have people here such evil, filled with such vitriol and hate. That's all they ever do. They have no other gear. And I challenge folks to this. Everybody, look on my channel. I'm broadcasting from it now. Look on my channel. Where's the hate? Where's the I want to make you feel bad. I want to ruin your day. I want to make you feel bad about your looks. And what did I say 100 times? If I ever offend you, if I offend you in this live, please leave a comment and say, you offended me. Can you edit that part out? I'm going to edit it out. Or if you say, hey, man, you was talking about this religious thing and, man, you hurt, that's my faith and you hurt my feelings. You let that shit go. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to snatch it down. You know why? Because I'm not no evil, nasty person where I feel like I got to hurt you because somebody told me to or somebody did something to me. And that's what we got to get out of, man. This thing, like, Black unity is non-existent. And you think, I'm going to tell you something. You think when you come on here, especially on BlackTube, I like using this as an example. You think when you come on here and you cussing out other Black people and you hating them and going back and forth and you trying to talk about people's feelings and stab them all up. Yo, why are you doing that? Well, it's just BlackTube. It's just entertainment. It ain't that serious. Obviously it is. If you're on this bitch 8 hours a day, every damn day, then it's that serious. But like I said, we can do that to each other, though, because it's open season on Black people. Black people don't have to respect each other on here. Oh, but you do and you should, but you don't. You understand? We got folks around here can't laugh. Folks on BlackTube, when you ever see, some of them never laugh. Nothing, never humorous. Everything is evil, hate. Everything is gray, dark, sullen, twisted, demonic. And how you know? Because they're the first ones to call you those names and tell you you're doing that. But I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. I could take a hit. So I made a pact today. Actually, a few days ago, I said, not dealing in the bullshit. I'm not addressing these folks. I'm at a point now where, guess what? You ain't even gonna see me in the chat. I feel like this. If you want some negativity and some bullshit, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Why? You know what I'm saying? When we gonna get together and build? Where's their content talking about this? How we can save these kids? And I'm not talking about opening some goddamn school. Where's their content about what we gonna do in the community? When you ever see them out? When you ever see them speak on anything like that? You don't. All they on here do is running dumbass narratives over and over again, dragging the same regurgitated, throw up, spit up bullshit over and over. Don't do nothing. Grifting, getting a couple pennies here and there, or they on the payroll to do it, to destroy and hurt other Black people. That's it. Nah, man, ain't no excuse for that. Not at this age. You elders now. Everybody talking about they 50. Guess what? Elderhood, you already here. Hell, I give it to you if you're 45, 40. You here. It's time. Ain't no excuse. Whatever, something happened in your childhood, you hurt, you still dealing with that? Man, you got it. You're going to have to fix that. Because these youngsters need you. Let me tell you something. If I was there that day, Lil Man wouldn't have been by himself. He wouldn't have been by himself. My city done got wild. Now, all these years, I done had businesses. I done had money in my pockets. I was in dark alleyways, different streets, visiting, calling, and I never had the need to have a firearm until now. Now I feel the need. I go out the house, I gotta be strapped. It's just no other way. I ain't trying to get got. And the last thing I want to do is hurt somebody's kids. I swear to God, I'll do anything to try. You know, the gun ain't the first line of defense. I got some bear spray. Look, young man, I'm gonna try to back you down. I'm gonna be diplomatic. It don't have to be like this. And if you really want this car that bad, then have at it. I got insurance. But man, we got somebody got to love these kids, man. Somebody got to love these children. Because they coming from somewhere. I mean, come on, it takes two of us to have them. They out here. I don't understand defense of others theory using this case. Affirmative defense is like defense of self. Others probably require the deadly force was necessary. Oh, which takes me to another point. There's the Carmelo case. Now, this is a case of self-defense. Here's the argument. Well, as you can see, there are no black people on the jury, but I'm not fussing about that because there was 7 people on this jury. I'm gonna tell you something. If I was on that jury, it'd have been hung like I was gonna say something really nasty and ignorant. It would be very hung if I was on that jury. That would have been a mistrial, and I'd have been all day. Hell no. Hell no. Not guilty. I've been like guilty, guilty, guilty. Come on, man. We tired of being here. We gonna be here until you gonna have to dismiss me as a juror. That's the only way. Because ain't no way that's riding. Now the Carmelo case, of course, they talking about the jury selection. A lot of people didn't, by the way, y'all, it's not the fact that it's not black people in the jury. There was a lot of white folk that was like, I gotta love the white women's. They was like, nah, he made a mistake. He shouldn't go to jail for the rest of his life. Next. He's just a kid. He's a baby. He didn't mean it. Next. Yo, so it's not about the color, but trust me, there's a lot of ignorant people that would love to burn that young man and be on that jury just for the sake of he's a thug, he need to go. Now, I didn't see the video of what happened. Now, what they're saying is that there was a fight, and because he pulled out a knife, the force was unequal. He should have met the force with equal force. Now, I need to check the laws in my country because I'm told that my state, I'm told that if I'm in a fist fight with somebody, I cannot use deadly force. However, if they're choking me, slamming my head against the ground, I'm about to go unconscious. And I don't, I don't understand none of that. I do believe though. I do believe, like I said, we were the last generation of hands. I do believe that youngsters, y'all need to know how to throw them up. You don't really need knives and guns to settle a dispute. I don't know why. I don't know why it came to a knife. I don't know what was going on at the time, but I'm praying for all of them, man. I hope, I wish that didn't happen, because now it's a big old national sensation. His family is getting threats. Why was Cyrus's mom, people on her Facebook threatening her and all that? Why? There is a sickness in this society, a sickness. Let me tell you something. I don't give a damn if they white, black, purple, yellow, or brown. When a mother loses a child, I got a problem with that. I don't give a damn if it was a white woman and her son was straight up out here, I don't know, he became part of some motorcycle club, some initiation, he got killed. I come I have what they call a soul. Well, that's the best way to describe it. And that soul has a compassionate nature. And I feel for any mother that loses their child despite the circumstances. Nothing you can say to make me say, oh, well, the mother should just go to hell. Because y'all like to say that parents are responsible 100%, 1,000% for the choices their kids make. That's BS. You can raise your child to the best of your ability, and your child could end up ending your life. Some things are just beyond your control. The problem nowadays is that society is so tainted, evil, and dark. Everything about us is we celebrate darkness, death. Look at our music. None of it's bright. None of it's happy. Look at BlackTube. Go to the channels. What's going on? Grown-ass adult people yelling and screaming back and forth, trying to embarrass each other, trying to shame each other, trying to hurt each other, trying to get you out your career, trying to just do anything. I find any tidbit of information about you, I'm just going to use it against you. Why? Oh, I'm just roasting. I'm trolling. That's bullshit. That's not trolling. See, it's a difference. Let me tell you something. I put out content where I do parodies. I do original songs sometimes. And I like to take, I say this every live. I like to take narratives that exist and blow them so far out of proportion to make them ridiculous as they sound to make it humorous. Now, a lot of us understand that. We get it. We laugh. We keep it pushing. Some people in the past have taken my content and weaponized it against others that they don't like and I've said, please don't do that. That's not why I make this material. It's not for you to use to go at people you don't like. That's not what it's for. You do that on your own. Don't mix me up in that type of karma. I don't want that. Now, we all know I have the same rule on any content that I do, and that is if it offends you, let me know. See, here's the thing. I have a whole life outside of this, you know. Yeah, yeah, Miss M, I said it. I have a whole life outside of this. And this here is not that important to me where I'm like, F that. I spent hours putting this live together and these graphics, and I just gotta have this because this is important to me. No, this is fake. This is false. This is the super ego here. This has nothing to do with who I really am or what I represent. So again, if YouTube takes the channel, oh well, it's gone. It's not me. It's not my legacy. My legacy is, or in all, how many? What I got? 9 grandkids. That's the legacy. Seeing them, it's fun. Just watching their little lives unwind, watching their parents fall and make the same mistakes I made, even though I try to tell them. But that's just a part of it. Your kids are gonna parent the way they want to do it. Some things they do better than me or have done better than I did. So I'm here. I'm here. You know what our roles are as the elders and the grandparents. We're here when your mama make you mad. You got to call me on the phone. Tell me what she did. Tell me all. Yeah, I know she's an evil witch. I know. She's been that way since she was 8. That's what we here for. But brothers, we got to step it up. All this dumbass online, 8 hours a day on here. I think we could put in some time in our communities to protect it. Shout out to the new Black Panther Party. Shout out to them brothers in Detroit. I don't know, man. I wish I knew the name of that group. Yo, these brothers, they wear all black. They patrol the neighborhoods 24/7 in that neighborhood. And they say, we out here so these sisters and these kids to make sure they get home and to make sure they safe. Man, can you understand that one simple move like that, all of us men in the community, if we all did that, even it ain't got to be that serious. Maybe you don't need the black Nike boots and the all black and the cargo pants and the tack gear and all that. Maybe you don't, or the firearm. Man, a simple neighborhood watch. I wonder though. We ended up in this condition. I told you I got into a little. The man wanted to. One of my redneck friends wanted to talk about against the reparations. He missed the whole point of my post. And sometimes we do get caught up in the past. Sometimes we do get, we were slaves, reparations. They owe us. The government owe. Yo, we got to pretend that we ain't never going to get that and come up with some other solutions. We can't go back to the 60s and rely solely on the civil rights movement, which they are slowly moving to revoke and take away our voters' rights. It's a lot going on in this world, man. The kids are still getting gunned down. Here we are on the internet going back and forth with each other, and our voting rights are just being taken away. Now, I know that stings when I say it because I'm on the internet too. But, man, it's got to be some kind of way we can do more. Our grandparents, man, they were organizers. All that civil rights shit, that was organization. That was no internet, no iPhone. You understand? No Discord, no nothing. How did they do it? Boots on the ground, organizing. You still have that same power. See, when somebody comes in the neighborhood and guns down one of our young people, I hear folks now talking about a nationwide protest. How long can you? I'm down if that's what you want to do. How long it's going to last, though? Remember Kaepernick stood up for black people? Remember that? Guess what? How long the NFL boycott lasts? 5 minutes. You couldn't turn off a goddamn football game to save your black ass. So what you going to do if it come down to it? What if things progressively get worse? You got a whole white supremacist administration that ran on supremacy. Didn't run on the economy, ran on supremacy. Oh, I'm going to come in there and kick all these people out of the damn country. And folks voted for that. Now, of course, look at they dumbass now. High-ass gas prices, medical taken away, social programs gone. Look at them now. The point is that what makes you think you're going to escape it? You know what I mean? When they fall, we fall. So if it came down to it, if there was an actual civil conflict, what you gonna do? Turn on your microphone? How you gonna do that with the electrical grid down? Shit. Man, ain't nobody stopping us from doing the Black Wall Street right now. I said this before. Ain't nothing stopping us from buying some land now and getting together. I said this on the last live. There are some folks that have done that. And here go black people. Look at them. It's 3 years later. They still living in RV. So what? But they did it though. But you comfortable. You comfortable. You finally got that apartment. You was on a waiting list for 3 weeks. You ain't giving up shit. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going to do nothing. And that's why ain't nothing going to change. So like I said, you don't have to do nothing, but eventually the enemy going to come to your door. But nah, man, this got to stop. Ain't no man going to punch no sister in her eye while I'm standing there. Ain't no man going to slap no sister across her face while I'm standing. I don't give a damn who wife it is. Now, he got to see me. Shit. Do that shit while I'm standing there. They know. And what happened in that one time when the man in the beauty supply store, that fool punched that sister in the eye? He out there the next day talking about 50% off. Guess who was lying, wrapped around the block 4 times to get that cheap-ass weaves and hair? Guess who was standing out there? The sisters. And I'm going to pull up that video one day, and the brothers that was out there ready to thump, the sister yelling in their face. They out there with the signs ready to thump, talking about, hey, what you doing? Go home. Don't do that. Don't buy. F you. Ah. And I'm like, man, that's a whole nother story. See, that's another problem. Why us versus the sisters? Us. Now, that I've seen many channels with that argument on the men this and the men that and the women this and the women that. We got man's fear, woman's fear. We got all these damn fears. Whole lot of fear. You know what I mean? Fear don't serve no purpose around here. I want to see the channels with the black unity. I want to see sisters and brothers trying to figure out how we can get along and stop these dumbass talking points. Like we against it. Who said we was against each other? Who said that? Who said that? Man, tell the truth. You know, you made some badass choices selecting some clowns to lay down with, and you still mad about it 20 years later. And you, sir, dumbass, you laid up with multiple women, had kids, didn't have no intentions on taking care of them. Now your stupid ass got child support cases, and you run around and talking about man is fair and women is hoes and all this other crap. That's some bullshit. I'm going to say this and I'm going to keep saying it. You are born a man, you living a man, you going to die a man. Responsibilities on you. You run society. I ain't trying to hear that. You raising daughters. And like I said, if you ain't a black man standing at the head of a household, you have not been tried or tested in this life. I got that from Farrakhan. He said that to me in 1988. Damn, it took me a few years to understand. And I was like, he right. I don't give a damn because me, I got to get this kind of car first, and I'm going to get a house, and I'm going to get good in my career, and then I'm going to go out and get a wife. Like you can open up a Sears catalog and just find a wife in it. That don't work like that. Sometimes you got to give the woman ground up and build. Sometimes we in this ratty ass apartment with the leaky ceiling and the bad pipes and the disgusting bathroom that no matter what you put in there, you ain't going to get them tiles back to that original color. Sometimes you got to start out humble. Like I said, Gen X don't want to start out humble. Gen X want to start out in a Rolls Royce Phantom. It's bad. It's so bad now that the next generation of our young women out here talking about, oh, you got to pay all my bills on the first day. Who told them that dumbass shit? Where they get that from? Because they had iPhones and designer gear when they were infants. Nope, not given any brain or structure. Just programmed with a bunch of dumbass materialism. Notice, I'm an equal opportunity ass kicker when it comes to men and women. I'm not on either side because it takes both of us. A woman in Philly interfered with this homeless couple that was arguing. She pulled out a gun and the homeless guy shot her. Huh. Wow. Yeah. Now, there's certain cases where sometimes you just maybe have to mind your business, you know? I don't get it. Now, I did say you ain't gonna punch the sister in the eye. I meant more so from business owners to abusing, stomping down on the sisters. A man and a woman arguing, husband and wife, I'm probably gonna be a good Samaritan and call the cop. I'm not going to get in between that. I don't know the details, but I do know a sister checking out in line will not have, there's no reason. I don't give a damn what she say out her mouth. There ain't no reason for some random strange man from the other side to be putting his hands on her, period. I was raised like that. I told you, I done seen in my family, I done seen dudes get ass whippings handed out. That wasn't right, man. My uncles and them wasn't right. But man, oh my God, don't let one of my cousins cry. It's like it's an instant ass whipping. They will whip the dude's ass and then take him out for drinks. Like, man, we sorry we had to F you up like that. But man, that's my niece, man. I'm saying I ain't even do nothing. Yeah, I know, man, but come on, let's go to the bar, shoot some pool. You know what I mean? Or there was some shotgun weddings, or whatever. But nah, man, it really, every time that happens, it just takes something from me. It bothers me. When I see this, it's like, we can do this. Like, it's some kind of code, like some book somewhere that say you can go into the black community, you can kill, do whatever you want. And then people, like I say, people always want to say, well, you don't value your life. That's some bullshit. I know thousands of black people that value black life, that value all life. You understand? So that's some bullshit. You ain't gonna paint that on me. Couple of dudes shoot each other. There's been murder since the beginning of time. You know what I mean? But I don't give a damn how many murders it is. You still ain't got no right to come in here and gun down one of the babies because you feel like it. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? If it's one, I don't care if it's 13 million of us. If one of us care about black life, then you ain't got a right to take the rest of them. You don't. You don't. So that is what it is, y'all. All I'm saying is, hey, look, I don't know what I'm saying, man. Oh my God, that bothered me. That really did. I've seen this several times. I used to be that child that used to get her, and it wasn't no cop this time. Because, we love to get, as soon as a cop do something, we love to get outraged. And then after it happens, somebody get choked out on the street. Couple brothers and got choked to death, whatever. And it's funny because Kevin Hart had a roast and there was a George Floyd joke. Oh, black people. Oh my God. Oh, this is crazy. Super outraged. Super outraged. Like I said before, just cancel your Netflix. They'll get the message. And then you probably even get an apology. But we be too mad about the wrong shit. We're on the internet mad at people we never met, don't know, won't meet, won't know, ain't seen, ain't heard from, don't know what they look. We mad at that. Nah, but it bugged me. It bugged me to see that little boy gone. It bugged me to see Trayvon Martin gone. And then this bastard walking around here, he got the gun that he killed him with on eBay. He's sitting there and he was in some restaurant talking about he's selling the gun. Yeah, you know me. I'm the one that shot Trayvon. And it was some white man that rocked his, not cracked his damn eye socket. A white man did that. And they put the white man in jail for that. So my question is, man, I'm going to stop saying stuff because I'm going to say the wrong thing on here. Why had to be that man to do it? You got a Kyle Rittenhouse. He drives gets in his car with a 17 with an illegal rifle, drives across. Mommy drives across state lines like he going to summer camp. And he out there shooting folks. I saw one of this guy was a gun trainer. I used to follow his channel, but I stopped because he was on there talking about, well, somebody tried to hit him in the head with a skateboard. Somebody tried. Isn't it funny, though, how a person can go across the state line with a shotgun, right? I mean, a rifle, AR-15, and kill people without prejudice, just randomly kill people. And then it's never a question of, why did he have a gun? That wasn't the question. This dude he invited to the house. He's sitting in there with Republicans and he's all getting celebrated. Isn't that funny how that worked? Welcome King Stand Up, welcome Propane. But isn't it funny though how a young man with a gun, and he had one in the chamber. They got a nerd like that make a goddamn bit of difference. But he got a gun, walked away peacefully, complied to all rules and regulations. He get gunned down, but he has a gun. He's a thug. See, y'all, that's that racist bullshit. And that's why I say, you ain't supposed to have these conversations with no other team. You ain't supposed to be there. You don't let nobody drag you into them arguments. What you need to do is get yourself trained, get yourself armed. I'm a staunch cold 2 air, and then train these youngsters how to defend themselves. Train these youngsters how to handle weapons properly so that, when they grow up, they can be legal and responsible gun owners. I'm not saying don't go out here and start a revolution, but you got to know. You got to defend yourself. You got to know how, and that's the bottom line. It ain't about no riding around the car, everybody, I got that thing on me. I got, man, ain't about all that. If you understand anything about those type of weapons, man, it's all about defense. We gods, man. We the gods and the goddesses. We not out here to take life. We give life. We created life, you know? We understand that this bullet don't stop life anyway. We see the ultimate reality for what it is. Technically, you're not destroying us, but however, while we're in this form, we would like to prosper, be left alone, and to live peacefully in our own true nature, which we need to get back to, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Your nature ain't coming on here with the yelling and cussing and screaming and the da-da-da-da-da and saying the same narrative 15, 20 times from 8 years ago. Man, that shit is ridiculous. Every day? Come on, please be happy. Oh my God. Get something in your life. Miss Murphy and friends, happy 21st birthday. Most of their friends didn't live to be 21. Sad. It is. It truly is. Rittenhouse killed white people. Once I heard that I stopped caring about the whole thing. Him or the ones who were ended. Hey, yeah, definitely an opinion. For sure. I'm not gonna let me being on here. I'm not gonna let me get out my exercises today. I'm not gonna let it get me out of that. But yeah, sure enough, man. I know I was angry. And like I say, I took it as that situation made me angry, but then it lit a fire under me. It told me a couple things. For what happened on the internet today taught me one thing. My time needs to be spent doing other things productive outside of here. We didn't all see me produce stuff. I made stuff key, so funny. Now I'm on to this boring content. I'm gonna stick with that. I need to get my black ass out into the world, and I need to start helping some of these kids. Bottom line. Nobody cares. So what? 7 out of what I got, like 9 or 10 kids. I don't know. I lost count. Don't matter. Most of them got degrees. Irrelevant. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Oh, my kids, some of them got their own business. Irrelevant. That don't mean nothing. In my city, there was a young sister, young sister, had to be like early 20s, opened up a beauty supply store. And they robbed and they took her life. Damn. Boy, that hurt me. You understand what I'm saying? That's not supposed to happen. That sister's supposed to have every man in that neighborhood looking out for her. The minute somebody go to touch her hair, they need to fall. It's not supposed to happen, man. The world upside down, yo. And we sitting here playing into it. Now I know you might think what you do on the internet is harmless. I'm just on it. It's just the internet. It's just YouTube. It's just no. That's saying, yo, for real, look around you. Look at some of these people here on BlackTube. Again, they're not capable of smiling. They have no humor. All they know is darkness and destruction. And they promote it. And they get together and they promote it. And they want you to be a part of it. They want you to stay like that. Meanwhile, your whole community, your world is crumbling around you. Nah, man, we got to get off of here and get out in it. It's not about you and yours being good. It's about all of us being good. We used to have something like that, man. It was a strong movement. 60s, early 70s. What happened? Called each other brother and sister. Man, in my town, people walk by you, they don't speak. They look down at your shoes, look up at you, ice grill you, and keep going. I don't understand. When I'm down south, when I'm at the other house, I'm down south. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Everybody's how you doing? I mean, in this small town, black, white, how you doing? How you doing? Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Boy, I love that. I love that Southern hospitality. Oh my God, I can't wait to retire in a couple years. I got to go. My state taxes, man, it's high as hell living in this place. Boy, I'm telling you, if I could move tomorrow, I would. I would be gone. Now, I could do something really dumb and do that now and just go ahead and relocate. But no, I got to be smart about it. You don't just go liquidating accounts and just, I probably could. But we talked about that, y'all. We talked about a contingency plan of early retirement, which I count as 62 would be early retirement. And we do have an option. So who knows? Like I say, either way, it's either I'm fully or semi-retirement in a couple years. One or two. Either way, I'm gone. I'm gone. I got to go. I can't do it. But, and guess what? I'm still gonna be up here. If I'm involved in these community events, I'm gonna be here. Cause that old man, that stuff bugs me, man. We go every time we get together, graduation, somebody gotta shoot, somebody gotta stab. Why is people bringing guns to funerals? I done heard like 3 stories in my town, people shooting at a funeral. Why? Bro, come on, man. You're human. Come on, man. You the God. The God don't need no gun, man. No tool of destruction. When you come in here to, I don't want to say mourn the dead, but to assist the dead with their transition. You're warped. You're out of sorts. You're off kilter. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we got it upside down, man. We got it upside down. Now the music is like that too. All the music is destruction, poisonous. I'm sorry, you can't be a female rapper. You got to get naked and you got to be a hoe and a prostitute first, and then we'll give you a contract. I mean, come on, man. We falling into the traps of what we doing, and we teeing off on each other. Now I know, yeah, bro, you was on here too, teeing off. You was teasing the dude, and somebody got locked up. You was all kicking. Yeah. Okay, been there, done that, moved it along. Guess what? Eh, what's funny? Sometimes the gesturing in the comments from folks. What's not funny? It's not funny that we get locked up. It's not funny. Nothing funny about that. Because some of us know, not me. Well, I worked there for a couple months, but some of us know what happens on the other side, inside that cage. And that ain't nowhere you want to be. But man, I dropped the link because I just dropped it because I'm starting to run out of steam. I've been at it 1 hour, 11 minutes. So, got other stuff to do. But if anybody had any commentary on that, feel free. I don't know. I got a bird in the corner on this cheap ass StreamYard. Like I told you, man, I can't. I don't be on here enough to get my money. I probably just go to OBS and just run my mouth. But if I was on here every day, I would definitely sign up for the membership. But you got a budget. I can't be subscribed to every damn thing. I'm subscribed to stuff I don't even use. So I don't know. Let me just read some of the comments, man. It ain't always about a panel. Raw B came through. That's the homegirl from way back. Me and Raw go way back. Raw got a lot of good, she has a lot of good content too. What it do. Steph came through. I know y'all want to ask Steph all the law questions about that, but I don't know. I heard the lawyers speak. I heard what they said. And crazy part was the homeless guy was my neighbor. So wait a minute. He was your neighbor. Well, he lived in a shipping crate next to yours? How's he your neighbor? The homeless guy was my neighbor. Well, my tent was right next to his. Okay. You got to move Monday. Oh, somebody see Miss Murph already. See, that's Philly people for you. Miss Murph already did the joke. I'm thinking I'm being clever. She already put it down. Murph, did you see the downtown a couple months ago? Yeah, man, it be some stuff. I was looking at an old video. I was looking at some gun training stuff, and they was talking about open carry, closed carry, and I watched these two youngsters try to snatch a gun off an armed police officer in the store, and yo, you got to have some kind of balls. They eventually got caught. They didn't get the gun. He wrestled them. That's what I'm saying, man. It's stuff like that, man. What's going on? Like, yo, we gotta rein this thing in. Seriously, man. Somebody got to get these kids. We got to protect them. Like I said, sometimes they're ending each other. Sometimes they getting ended by foreign enemies. They got a plan for our kids, man. They not trying to educate them. They just housing them in school. That's why in my city, they got these stupid juvenile laws where, oh, what you do? I stole a car at 9:30. Okay, come down here, you book. Okay, sign out, call your mama. You go home, go steal a car at 11 o'clock. Oh, you again? You back here? What's going on? Well, I stole the car, so I'm back. All right, well, you're back. Okay, all right. Well, go ahead on home with mama. Oh, hey, I stole another car. And it's just like, it's a revolving door. Well, we can't, unless they do a felony, we can't charge them. I'm just like, oh my God. Translation, as long as he on that school roll and we getting that funding, we gonna keep that going. He can steal as many cars as he likes. And then you hear, like I said, the mothers call in. He's on the house monitor, but he keeps leaving out and he's hanging with bad people and he's doing things. Now I heard this story at least four different ones. And then all of a sudden, a young man, this man was riding his son-in-law to work, and he was riding on the road, Liberty Road, and he had a welcome drama, DJ Drama. He had a question, and he was talking to, and then all of a sudden, here come the young boy with the home monitor on. He's in the back seat of the Camry. What you say? And the older man said, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to my son. Who you getting smart with? And then they start shooting, and he kills the man. Now, hear the mother say, I told the cops several times to come get him because he keep leaving out with the house monitor. Man, look. So if the cops ain't going to do it, somebody, the uncles, where we at, man? Where we at? And see, the thing is, I try to figure a lot of times we want to judge the young people and say they so emotional. They don't have any control. They don't know how to deal with their feelings. So my question is, as we were young men, where was the pops giving these youngsters they hug? Where was the father loving on them? They're giving them that attention they needed, teaching them how to be men, how to deal with their emotions in a civil way. Where was it? We laid up. We got the sisters pregnant. Where we at? Oh, Humbles do. I'm in jail too. Why you there? That's a whole nother story. But look at us, man. 35, 40 years old, still doing petty ass crimes, still celebrating gangsterism, still waving around guns, acting like a goddamn fool. Ain't learned nothing. Oh, but I can come on the internet where I'm big and badder than life. I can come on here and tell everybody how great my life is and all this money I got. Again, yo, when I see you flossing and throwing around your materials on here, all it says to me is weak ass man, weak ass boy that's coming on here for validation because it's the only place you can get it. That you really in your real life, you want women in your real life, you want them to. But even if you is in the real world with women, you just paying them. You got them on the payroll. You paying for apartments. You paying car notes. You paying up. You ain't got no. I crack up at dudes act like they ballers and players and pimps. Ain't no pimp paying no hoe. So please stop with that. You know what I mean? For real. And it's not about you getting paid either. The woman gave me money. I worked out this money. It ain't about that either. It's about, you taking responsibility and being serious and finding you the young queen and putting something together and putting this family down to put a couple more positive folks out here. Maybe one of your kids could talk to some of their peers and get them on the right path, because show them a different way because they learn from you, you know, organically, it could reach them. But man, I ain't know. I'm gonna get off the soapbox. I done put the link down there for anybody that's got something on their mind they want to say about anything. It don't really matter to me. I'm not gonna delete this. I'm gonna leave it with the bird up and everything. Stream y'all boy talking about, man, you want to do? I was clicking on, I said, oh, can I put another thing? And I said, nope, you gotta go to it, pick out what plan you want. Can I play my music on the big app? Pick out what plan you want. Can I pick out what plan? I was like, God damn. Man, y'all need to drop that price back down for real. Any other services out here? I do have the EV Mukes as well, but hopefully they work the bug. I don't mind going back to that if they work the bugs out. I just find StreamYard's more simplistic and easier to use. Oh man, it could be yawning. I was doing this all day at work. I kept putting the phone on mute and yawning in people's face, but they didn't know. Had a good day today. Very productive at work. Man, I still feel like can I play anything? Can I play? Oh my Lord, I really gotta. They really want me to upgrade. I need one of y'all credit cards. I'm not paying for this. I can't play no outro. I can't do nothing. Damn, at least they should have another intermediary plan. Like maybe it's not 40 something dollars, but damn, I could even do 25. I can get down with that. I don't mind a couple hundred a year. I'll pay that. But then again, I don't think I paid for the whole last year on this thing. because it was some stuff they signed me up they wasn't supposed to, but I wrote it out. I wish I'd have used it more now. But yeah, man, I don't want to leave. I don't want to make it all negative. You know what I'm saying? I always like to do little bits and pieces. I don't know. I might break down and get a. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go back to EV and see how that's working. That'll do me. But anyway, speaking of finance, not that y'all asked. Um, let's. I don't know. I didn't come with anything prepared, man. I don't know. I always like to leave people with some type of tidbit. Well, there are some companies that have high yielding savings accounts. For those of you that don't want to invest, sometimes some of these companies want you to have a balance, maybe 50 or 100,000. But if you're one of those people that maybe you just don't have any faith in the stock market, that's a good way for you to pick up 4 or 5%. Sometimes they're internet banks. But hey, look, I'm not promoting any one single one or telling you, but that's one way of investing your money if you happen to be very risk averse and you don't like the stock market itself. I'll try next time to have something more prepared. Sorry, my mind after finances all day, my mind be burnt out. Welcome, Damu, 2 times. 2 times. So, nah, I ain't one of these people. Like in sector news, nah, I don't want to talk about that. I really don't. I have an opinion on that, but I kind of did talk about it without getting all personal because you know me, my style is we talk about the topics, not the people. Shout out to the magical 12. That's a good boring number. 12. That means you're holding it down just at the right altitude. Not too much, not too little. But no doubt about it. Nah, man, but as far as BlackTube goes, we got to do better there too, y'all. Come on now. Come on, where the content at? Where all that good stuff at? Not all the dragging and the and I got a narrative and this is the narrative and I'm just going to add this on to the narrative. Although you didn't say it, I'm going to put in some speculation and ha ha ha, he. No. Shit is old. It's whack. Not funny. Know what I mean? But hopefully one day we can get to a point where we can come together. The boring section can hold it down though. Because over here, we talk about boring topics. And y'all do know when I say boring, I'm being sarcastic because ain't a damn thing boring about what we do. We have adult topics and discussions. Now, you will see people that like to deal in 100% effery. You won't see them through here. They might listen in the clouds looking for some tidbit or something they could twist into some dumb shit and turn into a topic. But you will not find that here. Unless you want to talk about adult and serious topics and review some of the things we say. That you can do, for sure. But yeah, y'all, you're going to have to evolve. Somebody said the other day, I was talking to Brother G from Vegas. He had put up a post, and he's saying, don't feed the animals. And I told that brother, I said, bro, the boring sector is on the rise. A lot of us are tired of the dumbass stuff. We tired of the ignorance and the stupidity. And we are putting our topics. And guess what? Our numbers, we don't die, we multiply. There's more of us coming. More of us that want to have these channels, have these type of serious discussions, even if it's about nothing. But that's what we're doing. We don't care about the narratives. We don't care about somebody's criminal record. We don't care about somebody who got a divorce. Don't matter to us. Don't nobody care. That's not nothing. That's not relevant in the grand scheme of things. We don't care about that, and we don't get into names. Now, I know sometimes you want to come up on the panel and you just feel you got an itching in your bones because somebody from BlackTube done said something to you and hurt your little feelings, and you still hurt by it 3, 4, 5 months, sometimes years later. And you want to come over here and you want to get up and say, some people who wear a vest and has a short haircut feels as though they know more than, and you want to do all that. We're not doing all that. You know why? Because there's 40 other raggedy channels where you can do that, name the name. So we're not interested in that over here because no one, see what I said on this live presentation can play back anywhere on YouTube. And guess what? Speaking of vest, can play anywhere on YouTube, and guess what? People will say, "I know what he's talking about." So these are the type of messages we want to welcoming her. Speaking of vest, and
Speaking of that,
speaking of defense attorneys who represent the wrong people, welcome to the state.
no, I just wanted to say, as the in-house general counsel of the boarding sector, um, I myself have. I know. I said you, yeah, and I heard you say you don't care, but I myself have an extensive criminal history. Extensive. But I've never been married, and so I've never gotten a divorce. And do you know why I've never been married, Doctor Bombay? Do you know why?
Oh no, I don't.
Because I asked Britt if she would marry me, and she said no. Can you believe that?
I can't believe it. I can't believe Brittany told you no.
She told me.
You know,
So she told both of us no. She told both of us no. So
yeah,
I
she
just
did.
thought that make you feel better. I thought that make you feel better.
Well, I it does a little bit, and I learned from that experience. It's called when you go to college and Stephanie's your roommate. Do not go out for ice cream, no matter how much that broad tells you, and leave her there with Stephanie because something could go wrong and you come back with the door locked. You
Real
know.
wrong for you.
Shout out to Brittany. Shout out to Brittany. Hopefully she's doing better now. I heard she gained a lot of weight, and that's okay.
Well, that only happened
Boy,
after she told me no. So, well, I mean, she
wow.
said no to my proposal. That came out wrong. That came out wrong. She said no to marrying me. So and then the weight gain started happening. I heard anyway. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's all right though. You know, her fat ass over. She'll be okay. You
Yeah,
know, with
but
things.
shout out to the big women though. I love I love them all. I love a big woman. So Bray, you
Yeah,
can
no,
come
no.
back anytime.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Ain't nothing wrong with them either. Ain't nothing wrong. You know, it's somebody for everybody. And if you know, like I know, even in marriage, eventually you get old, metabolism slowed down, everybody start gaining weight. It's just what's happening. The lesson there is that there's more to life than just the physical. That's the
That's
lesson.
right. Absolutely, absolutely. Because I look at myself in the mirror and I can't believe I'm like, what happened to the 20-year-old? This white skin. I was in the sun so much when I was a teenager and a young 20-year-old because I was a swimmer. So I was in the sun a lot, and yeah, it did not do body good. Let me tell you, I look like a crumpled up, wrinkled up piece of paper over here. Yeah, the sun damage is
Wow.
real. Sun damage is real, real, real. So yeah, I'm not the catch that I used to be back when I was 25. Now that I'm 45, let me tell you.
Yeah, no doubt. Man, so it's funny. In the boring sector, we roll at about 12. Of course, Miss Murphy told me I said something about the number count when I said, "Oh, the number count went down." And she said, "Stop watching that. Don't watch that." And she's right. You're not supposed to look up at that. Well, look,
Right,
Lorna Doone Williams is here. Welcome, Lorna. Lorna's here
man.
with the
Speaking of
Princess
Lorna Doone, I
Die.
need some. Yes, I
Huh?
need some. I love them. I love them cookies. I love those Lorna Doone cookies. Man, those are some good shit. I love
She bet you would. But
them.
in other news,
That's what I said.
look,
Um,
that's Stephanie's still smooth with it. Like she talking about cookies, and then there's an analogy for cookies, and then she's like saying Lorna. Okay, you still smooth with it.
hey,
Then
if you got it, you got it.
all of a sudden, all of a sudden, your email just happens to spill out during the presentation. Yeah, I know. I know how you get down. Stephanie's like, oh, we're just no. I was just trying to get some tips on like the highlights in your hair. Like, what did you use because the Barack? Okay. Like she's gonna call you 10:47 at night about some highlights. Yep. Yeah, I see the ones. Always like, so what you yeah, these men are terrible, aren't they, girl? Yeah, I know your angle.
Well,
Knowing
hey,
every woman gonna have at least one complaint about a man, Stephanie's gonna totally exploit that too. See, the problem
hey,
is that he don't know how to be sensitive to you like a woman would. I'm not hitting on you or anything. I'm just saying. you know, don't
Hey,
knock it
facts
till
are
you
facts.
try it.
Facts are
Yep,
facts.
no doubt. No doubt.
You can't be
No
mad at the
doubt.
truth. Can't be mad at the truth.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So what I did learn from that experience, y'all, as far as let me tell you something, it's all about compatibility. It's all about finding someone that you can really vibe with. That's what it's really about. And see, I kind of touched on some things earlier when I said we got to get out of this man versus woman war. Trust me, the fastest way to a successful relationship is dropping all of those false notions about men and false notions about women, man. Throw all of that in the trash because it's the worst energy to bring to something, especially you're sitting there on a date already at odds with the person you've never even broke bread with, and you're already off to the races with, yeah, you know, you men are this. See, I used to, funny, I would go on a date, man, and the minute that some woman would say, y'all men, I would be like, damn, she was beautiful. Damn shame I ain't gonna see her no more because I can't do that. You can't. We, I'm sorry. It has to be a clean slate. Back in the day, it has to be. You're judging me for me. I can't. I'm not holding the whole gender on my shoulders. I'm not doing that. And I used to spend a lot of time almost apologizing for it. They always act like you gotta be the fall guy for what they did. I'm not doing that. So, all of you single folks out there, just get rid of all the notions. And I know sometimes your heart been broke, you've been hurt, you've been through it. I gave her my all. I done everything for her, and she did this to me. Yeah, I know. But you gotta understand if you want to attract that person, you want to bring that person into your circle. You gotta let that go. Deal with that pain. Let it teach you something. Let it teach instead of being woe is me pitying, let it show you that, hey, maybe I need to be a better judge of character next time. Come on, fellas. We've all done that. You've seen the big booty. You've seen the large bra. And you just had to have it. You didn't care. You didn't ask no questions. You don't even know her middle name. You just want it. You got to get with it. And how did that work out? Now you
attitude
hitting here
adjustment.
little Taekwondo Nation needs diapers and she's calling you again. You know, but you got to talk on the She need it's either that you're gonna be downtown with that case on you, you know. So that's what happens. So let us make better choices. Let us have conversations. Do it while you're out there dating, and ask questions, people. Ladies, I told you, see how he is with finances, and the same thing, fellas. See how she is with finances. uh, does he leave a tip to the server? Or is he talking about, man, shit, yo, they supposed to give me an extra piece of cheese. I ain't tipping them shit. Yo, last date. Let that be the last date. Save yourself the trouble. It's going to be problems. Because I'm telling you, we all know what's the percentage of marriages that end in divorce? 51%. And
Yep.
over 90% of the time, what's the problem? It ain't infidelity. It's that money. I'm telling you, if you,
Yep. Money
and
or
don't
boredom.
take Yep, don't take it to she says boredom. Don't take it to the extreme. That's a good point. That's the other 10%. Don't take it to the
Yep.
extreme, y'all, with the person gotta be a millionaire. I'm just saying, I don't give a damn if he's part-timing at UPS. If he's good with money, like you saying, damn, bro, how you manage this? Well, it's what I do. I budget. Yeah, that's a good brother right there. He budgeting. So that means by the time he becomes uh head of the division at UPS, he gonna know how to handle that $290,000 salary he's gonna be getting. So you in good hands, y'all. Get that money right. Everything else gonna fall into place. And it's not about how much money, it's about how you budget it, how you spend it, how you save it, how you invest it. To me, that would be the conversation. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I don't give a damn if she looked like a Gorgon Medusa. That chick good with money. I think we can make this work. Now, no, oh, you got to be physically attracted to somebody. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Okay, and beauty fades in time. I don't know. Y'all do it your way.
Tell me
That
about it.
wasn't
Beauty
my story
fades.
though. But
Beauty
if I could
fades.
go back in time, if I go back in time, I would tell my youngest self like, "Hey, man, you about to waste about 10 years. So why don't you just cut all that out, get to the money?" And I wish that when I was younger, somebody could have taught me how money works and things like that. I would have been so much better off. But hey, look, you know what? No regrets. We don't look back at the past. We don't have any regrets. I am where I am now, and I can make the most out of what I got. So it's never too late for you to start getting things together. He says, "Oh no, she can't look terrible." Bro, I feel you. But I tell you what though, if she good with money and she can cook, Boy, I done walked down the inner harbor hand in hand with a couple of moon dogs back in the day. Hey, look, I was eating. Hey, look, sister held it. Sister had the good job. Hey, it was what it was. It was. But now that I found the Lord
Right.
and have given myself to Christ and got married and everything, I'm in a much better place. I've learned from my experiences in the past, and that doesn't happen anymore. And I don't bring any floozies home to the dorm so Stephanie can have her way with her anymore. Yep.
There was a
Double
song back in the
coupon.
60s. Wasn't there a song back in the 60s called "If You Want to Be Happy for
Jody.
the Rest of Your Life"? Get
Oh, get
never
your
make a
ugly
pretty
wife.
woman. Never make a pretty woman
Yeah.
your wife. Yep, right.
Yep.
Get an ugly girl to marry
Yeah.
you if you want to be happy for the rest of your life. Yep. And then in the chorus, I think there's a guy in the background who says, "Your wife is ugly," and the guy answers, "But she sure can cook."
Yeah, no doubt. It's the hey, to me, it's the important things, man. I don't know. I like to eat. I don't know about y'all. That's what that used to be my go-to. It's like, man, boy, woo. I used to forgive a lot of stuff. I'm like dating crazy ones. They just starting fights all the time. But boy, that mac and cheese and that baked ziti and
Mm,
that lasagna, I'm just like, yeah, she called me 82 cuss words, but my stomach is full. So, but
All
now,
right.
those are the old
I'm gonna
days.
drop
But
down.
anyway,
I
all
gotta go
right, yeah,
take
because
care
I'm
of my
about to
cats.
wrap it.
All right.
Your cats, all
Thanks.
6 of them. All
Oh
right,
yeah.
no problem. I'm
All
just
right.
holding it down, putting in my boring installment for this week. All
Okay. We're
right.
getting on the contracts later. We're gonna have an addendum coming out on the contracts later, so just look for that in your email. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
Okay. Cool. All right.
All right.
Alrighty.
Oh, well, y'all made it for a whole hour and a half and did not get struck down. I had to put one jab in there. Oh, man, hilarious. I'm tuned in. Blip, gone. Anyway. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped over. You asked the question. Umfufu asked the question. Speaking of Inner Harbor, we're going there sometime next month. Any restaurant suggestions? You know what's crazy? My homeboy, Derek C. Williams from Philadelphia, he eat down there more than I do. But I tell you what, though, I'm going to research that and get back to you. Of course, I always like Phillips. Can't go wrong with Phillips. And then wait a minute, is what's his name still there? Fisherman's Wharf. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna get back to you because I gotta find out what's down there. You know, hey, if I happen to run into y'all, I got the tip. Of course, I'm not gonna crowd y'all like that. But if you happen to mention you going down there, I might just be somewhere on the other side putting all kind of stuff on your tab. You be like, wait a minute, we didn't have a bottle of Cristal. I'll be already in the parking lot and gone. So anyway, I want to thank y'all for listening to me give my speech, man. I just had to get that off. You know, it it was more so for me than it was you. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to it, what did I say? I know I was like browbeating for, oh, we got it. And I said what? I gotta do better. It starts with me. Same way it starts with you. So there's definitely gonna be a shift in things, man. I don't know, today some things kind of woke me up a little bit, just seeing that, man. And every time I see little man face come up on the screen, man, it does something to me. When I look in his face, I don't see like killer gangster thug. I don't see that. You know what I'm saying? I see a young man, and like I said, he was a young man, I was. The only difference is I did other things. I might have rolled around in a stolen car, but he had a gun. I mean, different times, different things. I'm pretty sure, given the circumstances, if I was born in this generation, I probably would have that thing on me too. You know. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and go because I didn't do my workout. So that means I got to do extra tomorrow. Got to do a whole bunch of cardio and crap. I've been slipping, but I'm waiting to get. I'm trying to get back on. Bought me a new treadmill. They didn't tell me. Oh, by the way, the delivery is going to take about a month. Didn't mention that. We didn't already took the other treadmill apart, but my homeboy who I gave it to That thing, it's one of those Life Fitness ones, from the ones they have in Planet Fitness. That thing weighs like a ton. And he looked at me, talking about, I told him, I said, yo, you come around, man, you better bring somebody with you, because I ain't lifting that thing. I didn't bring it in here. My Mexican homies brought it in here. I don't even know how they did it. Well, I guess it was coming down the steps. But when you talking about 300 pounds going up the steps, that's a whole nother shebang, So I said, man, look, they told me my joint ain't coming to the 21st. I was like, damn, man, I need my stuff. But I got a Planet Fitness membership too. I got a home gym, so I can always just ride my happy ass around the corner and get on that joint, or just walk through the neighborhood like I normally do. I try to get a mile in when I'm at work. I try to get a mile in the morning. So I got to get back on my routine, y'all. So while the weather's good, still going through this physical rehab crap. Can't even hike till that's over with because it's insurance claims. Man, I tell you, my doctor, man, he like, oh, there's 2 more weeks. I'm like, bro, I feel like I live in here. Lord, but like I said, I wish that, man, I swear to God, given the choice, I ain't one of these people that get hit in the car and be like, oh, I'm about to get a check. I'm that guy to be like, I wish I never got hit so I could just go to work. I don't want to go through, it's too much of a headache running back and forth. I know a lot of black folk, color folk want to do that. I'm getting a check and run it, man. Then keep that $3,000, okay. But can I tell you, I had to start going to physical therapy in the evening because I was missing time from work. And I don't know about the rest of y'all. You might take it as, well, oh, I took an hour and a half off early and left work early. Yeah, okay, but you don't know which client is going to show up. So how do you know you ain't missing a $5 or $6 million opportunity because you're in physical therapy getting $3,000? Man, the hell with that. You know what I mean? By my estimation, for them making me do this for 2 months, which will be grand total 2 months, and missing 90 minutes 3 times a week, which now I've stopped doing. So I'm like, no, I need to talk to clients, because for what I would get in a bonus, I added it up. Let's look at that. So 4.5 hours a week times 2 weeks is 9 hours, right? Am I doing this right so far? Times 4 weeks is 18 hours, right? Times 2 months is 36 hours. What is that, y'all? Divide that by 8. What is that, like 4, 8, 36? Come on now. I'm sorry, man. My math is 32 is 4, multiple 4 of 8, 36. So that's damn near 5 days of production. 5 days. That is a work week. That means I might as well just sit home for a whole week and don't do nothing. Well, I don't know about the rest of y'all. That week made a difference in the month. I looked at my production in the month of May. It made a difference, y'all. And I'm going to see that on the back end when I get to the end of the quarter and it's bonus time. It's going to be like, oh, yeah, you're going to miss that week. You know what I mean? It makes a difference, y'all. I need that. So, nah, you can keep that 3 Gs. Like I said, next time, I'm like, look, man, just go ahead and pay me for the bumper. Let me take my ass to work. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it is what it is. That money will come in. I'm pretty sure it'll go to a good cause. It's called savings. Why is it savings? Because what I tell you, you got to have 3 to 6 months emergency savings. So why would you put that money in savings? Don't you already have savings? I did until somebody graduated, and then you got. No, I'm joking. That's not what happened. That money will go somewhere. I don't know. Who knows? What's 3,000 at compounding at 10.5% for the next 4 years? Do the math. So, like I said, money and time goes hand in hand. Money to me comes compounded when I look at it. So 3 Gs is, I don't see just $3,000. It's going to compound into something else. So I thank you for coming through. Sorry I can't play no outro. This raggedy ass. Oh, look at that. Set outro video. Then when I go to do it, it says, no, you need a new plan. I'm like, come on, StreamYard, for real? You can't even play media? Maybe you can, but I would have to probably pull it up, sing. I'm not doing all that. Man, I leave y'all with the words of peace and tranquility. And I leave you, bid you farewell. Namaste.